Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching on this short week. I'm Gage Emojis, Emerson Hip, and this is the Intoxicated Sports Report.
Yes, sir, and it is a Victory Tuesday on this side of the microphone.
It is. I'll give you that. Not good. They are not good.
Niners beat the Cowboys, as everybody knows, and we'll get into that later on in the show. They won the ISR Super Bowl once again.
Yeah, that's good. Starting to feel, it was a Gage's guarantee, so I kind of knew it was coming.
Right.
Although, it kind of got to a point where I was like, yeah, could it happen?
Halftime, the Niners were looking like ass. Cowboys had the lead. Yeah. Then they made it interesting in the end, but
it's all right. It happens.
Yep.
It happens.
It's been a tough go for the Cowboys so far this season. Future's looking a little bleak.
It might be the rebuilding mode.
It could be
soon.
Very very.
But
well
you know what? It has to happen.
Right.
For some teams.
Right.
It's not like not everyone can be the Patriots and just have
or the Chiefs
just have constant success for multiple years.
Right.
But yeah, like I said, short week. We're doing this on a Tuesday, like old times.
Like old times.
Like old times.
I miss these old Tuesdays.
Yeah. So your work schedule is different this week?
Just this week, yeah. I honestly fucked up. I actually didn't schedule a bartender tonight, and then realized it last night, thankfully, and got someone to work.
There we go.
So
there we go. And
brush the sweat up the forehead.
Kind of works out perfectly because Thursday is Halloween, and I'm going to be busy doing Halloween stuff with Dev and Theo and all that. Yep. So hey, worked out perfect. But I think next week we'll be on our regularly scheduled programming.
I would like to think. We got Game 4 of the World Series on right now. World Series has been not much of a series thus far. We'll get into that shortly. The Yankees are, however, winning right now, 5-4. Believe it's headed to the bottom of the sixth.
I think you're right.
Either that or a pitching change. One of the two things is happening. But yeah.
This series was supposed to be great.
Yeah, right? They promised so many things here, and it just hasn't delivered.
Has anyone seen what the ratings have been? Do we know? Any idea?
They got to be pretty good. I haven't heard any numbers, though. And maybe that means that they're not as good as they thought they would be.
I feel like if they were good, you'd be hearing about it a little bit. You know what I mean? I'd imagine, like last week, like I said, it's probably going to be better than what it was last year.
I would think so.
Diamondbacks, Rangers. So, yeah. But, yeah, it's just the Dodgers. They've been dominating.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of the last time we had a truly great World Series. Because last year's was 5 games. In 2022, the Astros, they beat the Phillies pretty easily.
I'd probably say 2019. It went 7 games and each team won on the road.
That's right. That was Astros Nationals. That was a fucking great series.
That was. I always just kind of assume that if it goes 7, it's a pretty great series. Yeah. Although I know that's not really the case.
Yeah. Because, you could have a 7-game series where all the games are not close.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's a tater.
See ya.
Austin Wells. See you later. 6-4 Yanks.
Okay, there we go. But yeah, I'd probably say 2019. Unless I'm missing one.
Because I'm trying to think of 2021 when the Braves beat the Astros. That was kind of an upset for one. Mm-hmm. But I'm trying to remember if the series was close or not.
It kind of felt like, if I remember correctly, that the Braves kind of dominated that series.
Yeah, I kind of feel like they owned them too. Mm-hmm. And the Braves were just on a heater that season. It was 6 games. So
that's what I would have assumed.
Yeah. There were a couple close games, but most of them were decided by multiple runs. So
I'll stick with 2019.
Yeah, I think that's a good call. Because we know 2020, that was the Dodgers series.
Yeah. And before that, did the 2017 Dodgers Astros go 7?
That was a good series too. I don't think it went 7 though. Let's see here. So yeah, 2019 was 7 games. 2018, Red Sox handled the Dodgers pretty easily. 17 it did go 7 games. I forgot about that. Yeah. That was a really good series too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Game 5 that was 13-12 in 10 innings,
and it was like every hit was a home run.
Yeah, I'd
never seen a baseball game like that. And I don't think I have since. Like of that magnitude,
right?
I don't think I've ever seen anything like that.
Do you remember the Puig home run where he just threw his bat at the ball
and
it was a home run?
Yeah. Well, I'll give it to him because that is like a short porch.
Yeah.
But still,
left field to be swinging off your front foot and just throwing one hand at the ball.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be able to hit it 330 feet. You know?
And I would say it was probably his left hand probably.
Well, his bottom hand. Yeah.
So those two, 19, 17, yeah. 14 were kind of biased, but that was a great series.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt.
So. And you won some money on the 19 series.
I did.
That you never cashed in. Because you could. How much did you win?
It was like, I think I put a total of 180 down to win 300.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did you put that on?
I did 2 separate bets, actually.
Did you?
Because I placed a bet before the series started, and then I placed another bet when the Nationals were down 3-2, and they threw it was Strasburg in Game 6 and Scherzer in Game 7, and they owned the Astros in that series.
That was a good series. Mm-hmm. But like you said, really weird that it was the first time ever in World Series history that each team that was on the road won the game.
Right. Didn't that happen too last year in the championship series with the Astros and Rangers? Or was it? Or maybe it got close to doing that?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Anyhow. Today we are drinking some Negronis.
Yeah, cheers.
We have more on tap, plus maybe some tequila if you want to shoot that.
I doubt some beers.
I doubt some ciders.
Yeah, I brought some ciders. Shout out to Costco. I talked a lot of shit about the Costco being in Napa. I do understand the convenience of it, for sure.
Yeah.
You don't got to go to Cordelia or Santa Rosa or anything like that. So we went there to get our cards, Devin and I, membership cards.
Yeah.
And we're like, just walk around and check it out. It's super nice. It's only like 2 weeks old.
Right.
If that, it's really nice. And so I'm like, I might as well just get booze for when we go to Garrett's and watch the Cowboy Niner game later on. So they sell 12 packs of Golden State ciders, which I like. I know you're not a cider guy.
Yeah, it's not really my thing. But.
I think it was $30 for the 12 pack, which seems kind of steep. But when you think about if you go to a liquor store and get Golden State ciders in a 4-pack, they're $15.
Oh shit, yeah, that's a good deal.
So
Yeah.
And they're also selling Modelo's in the can and the bottle. I think the can 24 packs. Mm-hmm. The can 24 pack I believe was like $26, and I think the bottle one was like 27.
Yeah, that's a
great deal.
Yeah.
So,
and these are like pretty high booze, right? Yeah, 8% alcohol. And this is 16 ounces for a 12 pack, so
it's not bad.
Yeah, that's a good deal.
So shout out to the Costco.
Yeah.
I think I might be going there for more booze runs.
Yeah.
Or for like big events, I guess.
Yeah.
It just makes more sense.
Yeah, for sure.
And the gas. I don't know.
Yeah.
Have you been there yet?
I have not. My mom tried to get me to go out. I was like, I'm good. I don't really need to go.
Do you have a membership?
My parents do.
You just go with them,
yeah. I might think about doing it at some point, especially when I eventually live on my own again.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right, so let's just jump right into what's happened in the World Series so far. Of course, the Dodgers lead 3-0 in the series. Game 1 was honestly an epic game, as much as we hated seeing it.
It was a great game.
Yeah, Dodgers won that 6-3 in 10 innings. Freddie Freeman with the walk-off grand slam.
He's a really hard guy to hate.
I mean, was it the first pitch that Cortez threw out of the bullpen or second? Second, yeah. So second pitch coming out of the pen, specifically to face Freddie Freeman. Grand slam with 2 outs and game on the line, pretty epic.
And I'm sure a lot of Yankee fans were probably yelling at Aaron Boone through the screen,
right?
Saying, "Why would you pitch this guy on a month's rest or coming back off an injury?"
Right? Yeah, he hasn't pitched in a long time.
So I mean, I understand the frustration there, but yeah, Freddie Freeman, it was the first walk-off grand slam in World Series history.
That's wild.
And he knew instantly.
Yeah,
and you could tell too when he hit it. It was going.
Yeah, he tagged it.
And as much as we hate Dodger fans and the Dodgers winning and all that, I would love to have been in that stadium for that moment. Oh my God! It would have been crazy.
Yeah,
it would have been insane.
I don't know if you could find a much more electric, atmosphere than that.
I mean, I guess I think the only way you could have something more electric is if it was like series clinching.
Right. Yeah.
That's the only other thing that you could do.
Exactly.
Like if it was Game 6, you're up 3-2 in the series.
Yeah. Or
3-1.
Yeah.
Whatever. 3-2 in the series. No, 3-1. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, Game 6, you'd be up 3-2.
3-2. Okay. Yeah. That's the only thing I could see.
For sure.
Yeah. But I mean, I forget that he is already a World Series champion. I obviously don't forget that he was in the Braves, but I guess I'd forgotten that he's a part of that World Series team.
Right. Well, it's funny because they obviously won that World Series. He left for the Dodgers that following off season, and the Braves have stayed very relevant since then. So it just doesn't feel like they've skipped any beat. So yeah.
And I'm also forgetting that Mookie Betts is probably going to be a 3-time champion at this point.
Fuck.
I mean, those two guys are probably, even without this World Series, probably going to the Hall of Fame.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I would say so, especially Freddie, but I would say Mookie as well.
So it just adds to their legacies.
No doubt. Game 2, Dodgers won 4-2. Yamamoto pretty much dominated for the Dodgers. 6 1/3, just 1 run allowed. Freeman hit another home run in that game.
He's homered, and you'll get to it.
Yeah, and then, of course, the Dodgers won again yesterday, 4-2.
That game was boring.
Yeah, it was a snoozer.
It doesn't look... The score doesn't depict how the game went.
It was 4-0 going to the ninth. Alex Verdugo hit a 2-run bomb to make it look not as bad, but yeah, Freddie hit another bomb to start the scoring in the first inning for the Dodgers. Got him up 2-0 early, and they just didn't look back.
Do you like how I think was it game 1 or it might have been game 2? They brought out Ice Cube to perform.
Yeah.
And then in the last game they had Fat Joe.
What Ashley said in our group chat was so spot on.
I think he is from the Bronx or whatever.
Yeah, but it seemed a little like forced almost.
Right, they saw that and they're like, oh, we could do better.
Yeah, we got Fat Joe.
Yeah, and I got respect for both, but Fat Joe is not Ice Cube.
No,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Not even close.
And I think even Fat Joe would admit that.
Yeah.
Fat Joe back when he was 13 was probably bumping NWA, so there's no way he says he's better than Ice Cube.
Right.
You know what I mean? But, like that Ice Cube being out there doing that, cool. When the Yankees saw it, they probably thought like Fat Joe wasn't planned prior to Ice Cube playing.
There's just no way. Because if you could have done it, you would have been like, oh, Jay-Z is going to be the guy to do it, right?
Ooh, that's a great... I didn't even think about that.
Like, that would have to be the number one choice, at least. I mean, I can understand him being, like, too busy to do it, but...
yeah. I also wouldn't be surprised if Fat Joe, like, talked to the Yankees and be like, yo...
Yeah, I can see that, too.
Let me come out there, okay? Let me sing... Let me rap, lean back, and it'll be cool.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I didn't get to hear it, but I was just watching it, and I was just like, is this guy rapping or is he talking?
Did you say he was drunk? Or is that... I don't know. I think I saw somebody on Twitter was like, is Fat Joe drunk right now?
Good stuff.
I mean, Jay-Z would have came. I mean, that would have been huge.
Yeah.
At that point, like, if you have Jay-Z and Ice Cube, you're like, I mean...
That's a good battle.
Absolutely.
Fat Joe versus Ice Cube?
Yeah.
I think you're going to take the L on that one, New York.
Yeah. Sorry. They took the L after that.
They sure did. They sure did. But back to baseball, of course, Freddie Freeman, he didn't become anything, I don't think, in this stretch of hitting 5 straight games with a home run. But he, of course, hit another home run today, making it 6 straight games dating back to 2021. And
that's a record.
Hitting a World Series home run. Is that a record? I haven't heard anything about it. I just saw that he...
I guess I won't confirm that.
I gotta think it's gotta be up there, right?
Just with baseball, I feel like it's so hard to be the first to do something because I feel like everything's
it's been around for so
long.
A long time. Yeah. But yeah, pretty impressive, and it's kind of funny to think of this streak, going back so many years,
like 2021, like when they won the World Series,
right. And a different team, no less. Tonight we got a 6-4 lead for the Yanks. Coming into the game, though, Aaron Judge really struggling. He struggled really all postseason and really throughout his postseason career. He hasn't been the same player as he has been in the regular season. Just 1 for 12 coming in with 7 strikeouts. I believe he's got a walk and a hit by pitch so far, if not.
Well, and then he hit to the shortstop, or is that considered an error? You think, or he hit the shortstop?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, and then that was probably an error. Yeah. So.
Well,
no hits in 3 at bats.
Like for Aaron Judge, you expect more because he's such a great player, but. This is obvious. When you're playing postseason, you're playing the premium teams.
You're playing the best, for sure.
And they know how to pitch you. Like I heard on the radio today, or when I was taking a shower before I came over here, that teams, I think the 2 teams that the Yankees played prior to this were purposely pitching them inside because they got some kind of intel on why to do that.
Right.
And so I think the Dodgers have been doing the same thing.
Yeah, I think that's kind of always been the way that teams have tried to attack them is with pitching him in, but easier said than done, of course. And
the guy who's up right now is Shohei Ohtani, who actually dislocated his shoulder last game.
Right, 2 games.
2 games ago, which is impressive that he's even out there.
Right.
He struggled too.
He hasn't been on top of his game.
Just 0 home runs in his last 24 bats. You know what that means? He's due.
Right. Yeah, if he ties his fucking game up right now.
But it's just funny that going in, you're like, oh, Ohtani, Judge.
Right, and they've been less than that.
I
mean, I know Ohtani had he's been caught stealing twice, I think, but he had the double that was a big hit in game 1.
And he dislocated his shoulder while he was
trying to steal,
which is kind of strange,
right?
Because he led with his feet.
Yeah,
but
it was a really weird.
He put his arm down, his left arm,
and apparently popped it out.
How it was. I mean, we obviously want the Dodgers to lose, but I don't want to see players get hurt.
Oh no,
especially this kind of a player. You know what I mean? So. Like when you first see it, you're like, oh man, that stinks.
Right.
But what's sad for the Yankees is I think Ohtani could be out of this series and they could still win the series.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Because I mean, we're clearly seeing it because he's been close to a non-factor.
Right.
To this point.
Let's see what he does here. 1 and 2. No, this pitcher stinks.
Well, he probably wants nothing to do with him. So.
Right.
And let me ask you this. I think I made the joke, or I talked about it a few nights ago. It might have been last night after Freeman hit another home run.
Mm-hmm.
I said, why don't you start intentionally walking him?
Yeah, I mean, at least pitch around him,
Or that, too, yeah.
Why? Yeah, you shouldn't be throwing him fucking cookies.
I mean, yeah, exactly. Because, like, I mean, at what point is Aaron Boone going to say, like, let's say the Yankees win this game.
Yeah.
Is Aaron Boone even going to want to pitch to the guy the next possible 3 games?
Especially in the first inning, since he's burned him twice in the first inning.
No, there's no way.
Yeah.
Yeah, either pitch around him, because I guess you don't want to intentionally walk, because if you pitch around, you might get the possibility of him trying to swing at it and get a strike.
Sure, yeah. I mean, but that goes back to, the Dodgers lineup is loaded and you can't really pitch around anyone because you're just going to load up the bases eventually.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's why they're great. It is funny though to think about this season. The Dodgers have, even though they got Ohtani and they look like a super team on paper and all that, they've had a lot of pitching injuries. They look like coming into the postseason, like, is this team really going to be the one to do it?
Yeah.
And here they are dominating in the World Series. It's like, fuck.
Wouldn't it be kind of a boss move if at a point in the series the Dodgers are, bottom of the 9th, they're up by like 3 runs, like clearly probably gonna win the World Series.
Yeah. And
they put Ohtani out to pitch the last out or something like that.
That'd be kind of funny.
I don't know if his arm will let him do that, but that'd be like.
I mean, he's been throwing on the side. Who knows how hard? But and he strikes out right there.
So,
interesting stat that kind of surprised me. They put on the broadcast yesterday, but this is now the 25th time that a team has gone up 3-0 in the World Series. In the previous 24 times it's happened, only 3 times has it not ended up in a sweep.
Wow.
And the 3 of those times that it wasn't a sweep, it ended in 5 games. Wow. So no team has ever
forced a game 6?
No team has ever forced a game 6 after being down 3-0 in a series. So. And
has the only time still that a team came back from 0-3 down was the Red Sox against the Yankees?
I believe so. Yeah, in any series in baseball, yeah, I believe so. Pretty wild.
Well, let's hope it's twice.
Yeah, right.
So I don't know about you, but I've been getting texts every night after these games from James.
Like individual texts?
Oh yeah.
No, he hasn't been texting me at all.
Good. No, you're lucky.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll kind of like shoot the shit about it back and forth, but like after game 1, I said Yankees in 5. After game 2, I said Yankees in 6. After last night, I said Yankees in 7? Question mark.
Yeah. Can't be feeling too good anymore.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see. I mean, if they could even force a game 7, that'd be amazing.
That would be awesome. I mean, if you get even to get it back to LA, like you got to think there's some ghosts going around.
Because at that point, the game 6, Dodger fans and Dodger players are thinking like, we might have to have this one,
right?
Because if it goes game 7, anything can
happen.
It
definitely tightens up. Yeah, for sure.
Like if you don't win the game 6, because it'll be tense.
Yeah.
Then it's like we gotta you almost like I said, you almost have to have it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they should already be feeling that way just because you don't want to fuck around in these kind of series. But yeah, and the Yankees, they're talented. Obviously, you look at them; they're not really built to win a World Series. Just their lineup is very, home run or nothing.
Yeah.
And they just don't hit really. They don't get runners in when they get them off. Yeah. Unless they hit it over the fence.
Well, it's funny you say that because I haven't watched a ton of Yankee baseball this year.
Yeah.
But when they were playing the Guardians?
Yeah.
I was very impressed with how they played.
Yeah,
and like their offense.
They did, yeah. But the Guardians also played a really just trash series. But yeah, here we are. Round 2 on the Negroni.
Yeah. Is that where are you at that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
All right, let's move it on to college football. We had some actually fun little matchups between some of our friends' alma maters this past weekend.
We did.
Pittsburgh, Ashley's Pittsburgh Panthers.
Former co-host.
Former co-host.
Or former host.
Yeah.
She was kind of the host, right?
Yeah. They beat Nico's Syracuse Orange pretty badly, 41-13. Pitt's ranked. They're now up to number 18, 7-0 as well.
Wow, they're 7-0?
7-0, undefeated.
Wow.
Not getting a lot of respect by the voters, but they also haven't really beaten anyone.
That's true.
But they got a big matchup against SMU this weekend. Also, we had James' Ole Miss Rebels beat Nick's Oklahoma Sooners this past weekend, 26-14.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Sure that was fun.
I'm sure James let him have it.
Yeah.
Actually, if he didn't, I wouldn't be surprised because he doesn't really care about sports.
Yeah, right.
I think James was at a TCU game over the weekend, right?
Probably was.
With his better half.
Yeah, his better half. Other notable scores from the weekend: number 4 Ohio State narrowly beat Nebraska, 21-17 at home.
Okay.
That was a tight one, but they got it done. We had number 12 Notre Dame beats the number 24 Navy Midshipmen, 51-14.
Didn't I pick Notre Dame?
You did. That was your one win this weekend.
Thank you. Oh, fuck.
Sorry for the news.
Hey, I'll take one.
Yeah. Oregon, they handled Illinois pretty easily, 38-19. Are the Ducks legit? I'm not sure they're the number one team, like I said last week, but they're pretty damn good.
I mean, yeah, they could win a national title.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see when they play like some of the, and they're going to likely have to play Ohio State again, if not, Penn State,
and
for the Big Ten championship.
I'm just more bummed out that Oregon. Man, I guess Oregon's always kind of been relevant, but the fact that they're number one, it's like, it just sucks. It just sucks.
Also, we got number 15 Alabama bounce back big time. They beat Missouri 34-0.
I picked Missouri in that game.
You did, yeah.
Ouch.
Plus the points.
Sorry, Bama.
Yeah.
I disrespected you. I disrespected you.
Also, number 5 Texas, they beat number 25 Vanderbilt by a slim score of 27-24. Tight one on the road, but credit to Vanderbilt. I mean, they're everyone thought that maybe there was a fluke beating Alabama a couple weeks ago, but they're
holding their own.
They're holding on.
I know Devin was not happy with the outcome in this game. Well, she was, but she wasn't happy that it wasn't more convincing.
Right. I mean, sometimes you just got to take a W.
Of course, that's why I said I was like, hey, it's better than the alternative.
They're still number 6 in the nation right now. They're on track to be in the playoff. Hopefully play for the SEC championship. So can't be too upset.
In the playoff, you could have 100 teams in it.
And last but not least, probably the best matchup on paper of the week was number 14 Texas A&M taking down number 8 LSU, 38-23. LSU was actually controlling this game after the first half, and then Texas A&M changed quarterbacks, put in this guy who was more of a runner, and they just
changed it up.
Totally changed the game.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah. And to recap our picks from last week, Gage, you went 1-2. Yeah, you lost on.
I guess you went 3-0.
I went 2-1. Yeah, because you got me on the Notre Dame Navy matchup, and then I got you on the A&M LSU matchup. And my other win was I had who covered? Who was it?
Did you have Bama?
No, I took. Fuck, who was it? Oh, I took Vanderbilt. That's right. I took them plus 18, plus 18.5, and they only lost by 3. So
there you go.
Yep. So now on the season, I'm 12-5-1. I'm fucking rolling in college right now.
God damn, you're
put me in the books.
You're looking like somebody who gets to watch the games on Saturdays.
I do, at least the early ones,
Because I don't.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Gage, you're 7-11.
My favorite story.
What do you know? Tell me who you got for this week's picks.
Picking number 24 Illinois +3 versus Minnesota. Number 10 Texas A&M -2.5 at South Carolina, and James's Ole Miss Rebels number 19 -7 at Arkansas.
All right. I have number 4 Ohio State -4.5 at number 3 Penn State. Probably the matchup of the week. Not probably, definitely the matchup of the week. Yeah. 2 top 5 teams in the Big Ten going at it. Should be fun. I'm also taking Ashley's Pittsburgh Panthers +7.5 at number 20 SMU.
You're picking Pitt and you're going against Penn State. She loves you right now. And the Yankees are winning. She loves everything right now.
If Judge hits a home run and it is that bad upcoming, we're going to FaceTime for sure.
On the pod?
On the pod.
Are we doing it?
Yeah, because
and we're going to take a shot?
Yeah, we're taking shots too. She doesn't know it.
I hope that happens for the pod's sake.
It would be amazing.
That'd be amazing.
And last but not least, I'm going to go against your Texas A&M pick. I'm going to take South Carolina +2.5 at home.
Oh.
I think Texas A&M coming off a big win might be a little hangover.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going with. South Carolina's feisty. Give me the Gamecocks. Pause. All right, get us going with the NFL, Gage.
The National Football League, Week 8. Jets, they're 2-6 now, as they lost to the Patriots, who are also not a good football team. Yeah. They lost 25-22.
Is like this gonna be it? Is it gonna be like kind of a one and done basically for Aaron Rodgers?
I do love what you said. He's gonna do he's gonna go to the Packers, or no, sorry, go to the Vikings.
The Vikings.
That would be amazing.
Fucking hilarious.
That would be too good to be true.
When he went to the Jets, I was already thinking like it would be hilarious for that to happen.
Yeah, I think
it's not going to, but it would be funny.
Yeah. It just doesn't seem like it's working out for the Jets right now. Like to put it in perspective, the Dallas Cowboys are really bad, and the Jets have a worse record than them.
Oh yeah,
so.
No, the Jets are definitely worse than the Cowboys. Organizationally, foundationally, you name it.
Yeah. Well, when you see something like when you see how they're playing, what their record is, and mix in the Robert Saleh firing,
right?
It's all to me a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, and I think everyone still's trying to prop up Aaron Rodgers, and he's old. He just doesn't look that good anymore. And let's be real, we've talked about this already on the show, but he really wasn't that great in his last season with the Packers either. So why are we expecting so much from him right now?
Yeah. He didn't win the MVP this last season?
His second to last and the one before that
gotcha.
he did. But the last season they missed the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think Julian Edelman said it perfectly when he was on an interview with Colin Cowherd.
Yeah.
That Tom Brady made it look really easy.
Yeah.
And I guess Matt Stafford kind of, although he's not as old as Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I think people are trying to put him in the same club as Tom Brady in a way. You're right, and he's just clearly not.
No,
he never has been. Let's be real.
No,
he's been a big time stat guy. He's won the one Super Bowl, but he's had plenty of teams that you would have thought would have gone deeper in the playoffs that just haven't.
Yeah. So I don't feel bad for the Jets though, or Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers has done a lot of bad things to me and my team for a long time, so I don't really care.
Yeah, he's kind of annoying too.
Detroit Lions dropped 40+ for the third time in 4 weeks. They beat the Titans 52-14. That's
the Titans aren't good, and they beat up on some bad teams. But you're starting to make me think that maybe they are the team to beat in the NFC.
They're on cruise control right now. But their cruise control is scored 45+. It seems like these days.
Right. I mean, it's pretty nuts what's going on.
Well, and it's funny that we live in a time where the Lions are like a legitimate Super Bowl contender.
Right.
I don't think I've ever seen that. I mean, I guess maybe last year, but before that,
yeah,
like the Matt Stafford years, it never really felt like they were that true of a contender.
Yeah,
and we were like in middle school or like early high school when they went 0-16.
Yep,
like they were shitty. Like they were really bad,
real fucking bad.
So it's cool, and they're one of the franchises that's never been to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And they're an old franchise.
Yeah, they're.
Yeah.
I mean, they were in the NFL like before the merger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I'm rooting for the Lions. I know they smoked my Cowboys, but I mean, like, how can you not root for a team that's never been to a Super Bowl?
Yeah, I mean, if they're in the Super Bowl, it's going to be hard not to support them.
Of course.
Yeah.
So, Tua, he returned back to the field. Dolphins lost, unfortunately, to the Cardinals, 28-27. Tough loss.
Yeah, I think it's nice to see him back out there, though.
How did your Dolphins players do in fantasy?
Achane had a great game on paper. And Waddle, I think he caught 4 balls for not that many yards, but yeah, I mean, they looked... Oh, get out! Just kidding.
Oh, man, it kind of looked like it, though.
Got it. I think it jammed just a little bit.
Yeah.
But they looked like a real football team again, thankfully, on offense.
Yeah.
I mean, when those... Whoever the fuck else was playing quarterback, Tyler Huntley or Skylar Thompson, they just were not relevant offensively, so it was nice to see that.
It is great that he's back on the field. A lot of people thought, like, oh, retire this, retire that.
Yeah.
And I didn't totally disagree, but he's also his own man. He has to make his own decisions.
Exactly. I didn't like the, so many people telling him what to do kind of thing, but I agree.
He's his own man.
Yeah.
The Browns. I mean, I put this in my notes as well, without even seeing yours.
Yeah.
I said Browns shocked the Ravens. You said the exact same thing because it was a shock.
Yeah.
The Browns beat the Ravens 29-24 with Jameis Winston playing. Remember Jameis?
Yep. Famous Jameis.
Famous Jameis.
He's back
with his first start of the season. I gotta say, Jameis is really good at giving speeches.
They're stupid, but they're great.
Yeah. It gives off like Mark Jackson vibes a little bit.
Yeah. A little cliche.
But it works.
Yeah.
And
I love it.
this was bad for me because I picked the Ravens to win this game
with
my $300 pick, which we'll get to. But I mean,
him and like Joe Flacco kind of got some parallels. Like they're just like that guy that you kind of forget about, but then all of a sudden he's starting for a random team and he's winning some games off the bench.
We'll get to Joe Flacco here in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
But shout out to the Browns. Maybe they can kind of start something with the injury of Deshaun Watson.
I think it's pretty clear they got to find a way to get out of Deshaun's contract. I don't know. It's going to be tough.
Yeah,
because there's a lot of money left on it. But yeah, I think this is a sign.
The Commanders, they beat the Bears 18-15, which sounds like scoregami, which I don't think it is. Did we talk about this?
No, I know there were some weird scores this weekend that none of them ended up in scoregami. But
the Commanders won this game on a Hail Mary from Jane Daniels to Noah Brown. We watched this live, and it was, Hail Marys, I know Aaron Rodgers kind of made them look like they were commonplace.
Right.
But they don't always happen.
Ooh, that's a laser.
Right
at a guy.
And so Jane Daniels threw it from about the 50?
Well, they were on close to the 50, but he threw the ball like the 35. So it was a good heat.
From the 35?
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
Damn. So he threw it. It was short of the goal line. So they all clumped up. And everyone who's listening has probably seen the play.
Yeah.
So I don't even know why I'm explaining it.
Right.
But they all clumped up. And one of the Bears defenders, who before that happened was waving to the fans.
Just clowning.
Had no idea the play was even going until the fans were like, bro,
yeah,
look. Knocked it out. He smacked it with one hand and it bounced behind him. And I got to give it to Noah Brown. We were talking about this after.
Yeah.
This might have been the play design for the Commanders for this play.
Yeah. Well,
because sometimes, and I feel like most of the time with a Hail Mary or this kind of a play, it's not always caught by a defender. Yeah. It's always kind of like ricocheted.
Yeah. And then maybe batted down at some point.
You get to Noah Brown for having the presence of mind, for being behind everybody.
Yeah.
And then catching the deflection. He was all by himself.
Yeah. Well, and I've heard a lot of former players say, I think the guy's name was Tariq Johnson, who was being a jackass, and he's actually the one who tipped the ball, right?
Yes.
When you're doing Hail Mary drills, the idea from the defensive standpoint is, everyone's got a man that they're supposed to box out. And he was over there and just came streaking in to tip the ball and wasn't there to box anybody out.
So you're saying that's why Noah Brown might have been open?
Exactly. So they didn't have a man on a man. And, he was able to be... I think he just happened to be the guy that was in the back. Could have been any of those receivers,
Yeah.
So it just worked out. But, yeah, pretty wild play.
Yeah.
I fucking yelled when that happened.
We all... I was like, oh, my God. Did that really just happen? But unbelievable play. Yeah. The Commanders are... I think they're going to win the NFC East.
It's kind of looking that way. The Eagles are there.
The Eagles are... They have the experience.
Yeah.
They know how to win. The Commanders kind of feel like they're playing with house money. It's kind of feel like a dream season for the Commanders.
It is,
although I do think they are going to be good for a long time, which stinks for me.
Yeah.
But, just how it is.
Jane Daniels looks pretty nice.
He absolutely does.
Yeah.
And this was a cool game because it was the first and the second pick playing against each other.
Yeah.
Right?
And honestly, the Commanders kind of dominated this game. They just could not find their way into the end zone until the very last play of the game.
Well, and what's tough for the Bears, their previous possession, is they try to hand off to the lineman, do a refrigerator Perry play in the Super Bowl, and they fumbled it.
Yeah.
So that's what's tough.
Yeah.
That's what's tough.
Yeah.
Stephon Diggs, unfortunate news, he is diagnosed with a torn ACL. He will be done for the year.
Yeah, they're going to get Nico Collins back at some point, but they're looking pretty thin on the wide receiver core. But,
if I were to take a guess, I would say that they're going to be buyers at the trade deadline.
Yeah, I will say though, so far this year, Tank Dell's kind of been pushed to a lesser role, and he was a good player for them last year before he got hurt. So who knows? If in the next week or so they can't find another guy that they feel like can step into that number 3 receiver role, maybe we will see a trade. But I think they'll be okay. I think they're going to be just fine on offense.
Yeah, I think so too. The Colts, they're benching your boy Anthony Richardson for Joe Flacco because Anthony Richardson, funny enough, said last game he had to sit out a play because he was too tired. Run the ball.
Yeah.
Do a running play.
It's just like...
The man can run the ball himself. Just go forward.
I know he's a young guy, but you really can't say that. You're a football player. That's the last thing you're allowed to say. You're supposed to be conditioned to play 60 minutes at full speed,
Yes, I would agree with that, absolutely. Because you're getting... I mean, he's not getting paid like obscene money because he's still on his rookie contract.
Right.
But he's still getting paid a lot more than any of us are ever going to see.
But that's just an easy way to lose your job, and that's I think a big reason why he's not playing. But also he hasn't played well this season when he's been healthy. I'm also a little surprised that they're benching him based on the fact that he's the number 4 overall pick from last season. Like, you got to kind of find out if he's your guy or not. Like, I know winning games is really important, and I'm sure their head coach, Shane Steichen, is, feeling like he needs to win games. But at the same time, you gotta find out about Anthony Richardson and whether or not he's legit.
Well, it sucks for him because last year,
That's okay.
Started off on a heater. Like, he was playing really well.
Well, he was putting up some big fantasy points. Okay. They weren't winning a bunch of games necessarily, but yeah, he looked pretty electric. Yeah. Let's put it that way.
And now it's just not really there. But you're trying to tell me right now. So this is why words mean a lot, because you say you're too tired, but I guarantee you Anthony Richardson's in better shape than Joe Flacco.
I gotta think so. Yeah.
They're
going to play the game very differently, obviously. Yeah. But
Joe Flacco is late 30s, and
he might be 40.
Anthony Richardson's probably 23.
22 or 3, yeah, something like that.
So it's just a poor choice of words, because I think Anthony Richardson is in better shape than Joe Flacco.
Oh, there's no question. Like, at least lie and say, oh, I had a cramp. Or something.
Yeah.
Or I had a tight hammy.
You gotta... I guess, what's funny is we always complain about how we don't get the real answers from athletes, but then when they do, we're like, why'd you say that?
Right.
So it's like, there's a line, they can't win.
Yeah, there is a line.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
You know what I mean? We'll hear like Russell Wilson talk like, oh, this is all just PC.
Yeah.
But then when we hear Anthony Richardson say, I was tired.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
You can't say that. But I do agree with you. You could say something in between, like, cramped up.
Yeah.
Had to eat a banana on the sidelines to not cramp or something like that,
Because that game was close. It wasn't like he was coming out of the game because he was sucking. Or because the Colts were out of the game.
Yeah. And then the Ravens are trading for Panthers wide receiver Deontay Johnson. I did not hear about this.
This is news that just came about today. I think it's still pending a physical, but yeah.
Hey, gotta love when teams wish the Cowboys would do this.
Right.
They don't really probably need anything more, but boom, we're gonna get more.
Yeah, I thought it was an interesting move. They didn't give up really hardly anything to get him. They basically swapped 5th and 6th round picks aside from this trade. So it's kind of if you're going to get a guy of this caliber for that, cool. I didn't really think the Ravens need more offensive players. I think on defense is probably where they're lacking more than anything. But hey, if you get a guy for damn near free, might as well do it.
Exactly. And then, like we mentioned earlier, the 49ers played my Cowboys, and they beat my Cowboys 30-24 on Sunday Night Football. The Cowboys flat out stink. They can't run it. Their defense in the first half was refreshing to see.
Yeah, they played pretty well in the first half.
Because the Niners, they only gave up 6 points to the Niners. And then the Niners, in classic Golden State Warriors fashion, had a huge third quarter. And it's really hard because the Niners were down clearly. They didn't have McCaffrey.
Yeah.
Ayuk's not there. Debo played a little bit. I guess he hurt something in the game. And the Cowboys still lose by 6. Yeah. So that just shows to me, and it has to be known throughout the organization, that the Niners are to me they're still, I know they've had an off year, but normal non-injury years they're like top seed in the NFC at now too.
Yeah.
So the Cowboys have to see, we are losing to these guys when they have 3 or 2.5 3-stars down, and we still can't beat them.
Yeah.
That's an issue. It is,
yeah. They're clearly they're behind in a lot of ways. Not even if you compare it to the Niners, just in general as far as competing for the NFC title.
Exactly. That's why it's they really need to. Just rebuild. I'm already at the point now where it's this season to me was already in the shits even before it started because of what happened last year. I just knew it wasn't going to be good.
Yeah.
And the fact that they didn't do anything beforehand. But I will say the defense did play okay, and then Niners defense, it was a weird game. It was good game first half, terrible game third quarter.
Yeah.
Or depending on
for the Cowboys, yeah.
And then
they made it interesting.
Fourth quarter made it interesting.
Yeah.
So just tough. The Cowboys,
I think from the Cowboys' perspective too, if you're Jerry Jones and you're not willing to go after not really willing to do shit in the offseason and assume that the team that you had last year is going to just come back and do the same thing after a pretty poor performance in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like, if this is the best you're going to have, then you definitely got to start over.
Well, not only that, is like you lose Dan Quinn,
which
congrats, got a head coaching job. He deserves to get that again.
Yeah.
But like you expect the defense. The defense is also a big part of this
for sure
because Mike Zimmer is not. I mean, maybe it's the personnel because DeMarcus Lawrence and Mike Parsons aren't playing. And they're a big part of it. But still, the secondary is not good either.
Yeah. I will say that they did not put much pressure at all on Brock Purdy in that game.
Yeah.
And
I guess on the offensive side, the Cowboys weren't down much.
Yeah.
But I guess the defensive side, they were down to Marcus Lawrence and Micah Parsons, which is,
that's a big part.
Those are two key guys.
Yeah.
But you're right. The whole game. I mean, I don't think I saw Brock Purdy get sacked.
I think he got sacked in the second half, but it was like the game was when it was 27-10 or something like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So. It was and like we said last, or like I said last week, the game had no juice to it. Like we were all watching, we were watching together, and it was nice to be with everybody.
No one was getting excited when anything happened. No, your dad was so just like, chill, like not like was outside for half the game. It seemed like
that's just kind of how he. Well, he was baked.
It was. I kind of figured he might have been.
He was hitting his pen, or whatever. But like even you guys would score and it would just be like, okay, It definitely isn't like the playoff games.
No.
So.
I mean, at least the starting quarterbacks were healthy, unlike the Andy Dalton, Nick Mullins bowl.
Well, that's the only game the Cowboys can win, apparently. Like, my God. Come on. That's the last time the Cowboys have beat the Niners. Yeah. Is when it really meant nothing.
I mean, from the Niners' perspective, like, I don't know what to say, for them going forward. Like thank God we got a bye, because I think it's time to try and get healthy, reset, get everyone's mind straight and focused. I mean, I think we should be thankful we're 4-4, even though we should be fucking 6-2. If you really look at it,
the Rams and Cardinals.
Yeah. I think also like this game and even the game that they won against Seattle a few weeks ago, they won them, but they were very much like that Arizona and LA game where they had a lead that they let get away.
Well, and you got to the point in the Cowboys game where you were like, the Niners are going to lose this game.
I mean, it felt like another one of those fucking, Arizona games. It's like you can't just sleepwalk through when you got a, double-digit lead. You got to finish out the game.
Because I think if you guys played the Lions right now, you guys might play a good game, but I think you'd probably lose.
I don't know.
Or you think the Packers would beat you right now?
I think the Packers, the Lions,
Eagles,
Vikings, Eagles.
Well, you did lose to the Vikings.
Yeah. I'm just saying teams that I think are better than the 49ers. Clearly better than the 49ers right now. Eagles, I don't know about. I got to see them against like a... I mean, they did beat the Packers opening week, but that was opening week. I think the Eagles are probably better than the Niners, but I don't know that it's huge yet. But those are at least the 4 teams that I think are better than.
Because I think at this point, unless you guys go on a heater, because I think McCaffrey is supposed to come back, although I don't think... I mean, I know he's a great player, and he's in good shape, unlike Anthony Richardson. I think he will be a difference maker like it always is, but I don't think it's going to be automatic. You guys win every game.
Oh, no, not at all. I mean, and the Niners don't exactly have a fucking cakewalk schedule going forward. I think the easiest game they have left on the schedule is they play Miami, who's now they got Tua back, so they could be a different team.
I mean, you guys play Tampa.
Play Arizona.
I mean, you play Tampa, who has down some receivers.
That's going to be in a couple of weeks. So, yeah, we'll see. I still think 10 wins maximum.
I don't think the 1 seed's in play anymore.
Oh, not even close. Because I think Detroit's probably going to win 13. Okay, yeah. Like maybe even 14.
Like 2 seed possible, or is that more like?
I'm just thinking like let's just get in.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I think 10 wins is for me the realistic maximum for them.
I mean, I think you guys should focus on winning the division and getting a home game.
Yeah.
Because you guys have not lost a home game. You guys like talk shit about Levi Stadium, but you've never lost a playoff game there.
Yeah.
So
that's
something.
It's nice to have.
It's not nothing.
For sure. Yeah.
It's not nothing.
Not nothing at all.
So I'll give you the handshake. You guys got us again. Yeah. We'll get you eventually.
Yeah, I kind of felt like this might have been the year.
I thought it was. I mean,
especially after that first half. But
me too.
Yeah.
Player of the week. Who do you got?
You let me go first. How nice.
Well, I mean, I have mine down. So
who's yours?
Jalen Hurts.
Okay.
Jalen Hurts. He was 16 for 20, 236 yards passing, 1 touchdown, which doesn't wow you. But he also had 10 carries, 37 yards, which I know is not a lot.
Did he get in twice, too?
3 times.
3 times. Fuck, yeah.
So, that's why he had 4 total touchdowns, 3 rushing.
Yeah.
He got the W, and to me, that's warranted for a
Yep. Beat the Bengals on the road. Beat the Bengals in the white uniforms, which cannot confirm that any other team has done that.
So you're officially out on the Bengals.
As far as like championship contender, I think so.
Okay.
I mean, the funny thing is the AFC is so split. It's like either you're good or you absolutely suck.
Yeah.
So the Bengals are actually still in 9th place, so they're only 2 spots out of the playoffs.
Okay.
So they got a chance to sneak in.
My Super Bowl pick is looking pretty good still. Well, kind of.
Yeah, they lost this week, but yeah, they look like one of the contending teams.
So you're not completely out on them.
I'm out on them winning the Super Bowl.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
But they could still make the playoffs. I think that's possible. My player of the week is one of Sal's new favorite males. Lad McConkey, wide receiver for the formerly San Diego Superchargers.
That's a white ass man. McConkey.
Lad, too.
Lad?
Lad is
L-A-D?
L-A-D-D.
What's that short for?
It's got to be short for something.
Yeah.
You got it?
Yeah.
Yeah, he had 6 catches for 111 yards, 2 tutties. Also, I shouldn't say both of his touchdowns. He had 1 touchdown that was an absolute Randy Moss job, and another catch that was a fucking Moss.
A Moss job. He's out.
Ball gets away.
Lad McConkey, his first name is Andrew, middle name Lad.
Okay.
So it's Andrew McConkey, but he goes by Lad McConkey.
He's a good lad. What can I say? He had a good game, too.
Nice.
Chargers got the W. They're now 4-3. Not going to win the division like I thought, but...
I have another question for you. Did Justin Tucker score 10 points this week?
Negative.
You got 6.
But I will give it to him. He's at 9 for average this season. Yeah. So,
I mean,
but it is funny. He is, I believe, 9th ranked amongst kickers in points in fantasy this year.
Okay.
So it's not really that great.
Yeah. Week 8 picks recap. What do you got for us?
So Gage, you went 2-1. You did not score any money because you lost your.
That's kind of how I am right now.
Yeah. You didn't get your Baltimore pick against Cleveland, but you got the Bills and you got the Niners. I went 1-2. Lost my $300 and $200 pick.
Ooh.
Packers won by 3, and they were 4-point favorites. Not bueno. And then of course Cincinnati shoot me. Didn't even win the game.
He's out.
He's out.
He's out.
Yeah. I did get Monday Night Football last night with the Pittsburgh Steelers winning by 8 over the Giants.
Okay. Thank you for mentioning the Steelers. Can we be done putting them on primetime? I know they have a good record and all that, but I'm tired of seeing the black and orange. Or black and yellow, excuse me.
The Giants, too. The Giants have no...
I said black and orange.
Yeah, go Giants, boy. Black and orange, black and orange.
Black and yellow. I know when I said it. I was instantly wrong. I'm tired of seeing the black and yellow. Shout out to the arena in Tulsa.
Yeah.
But I'm tired of seeing them on primetime. They've had like 3 primetime games the past 4 weeks.
And they're just not they're not a good watch, you know?
They win, but they're not a good watch.
They're not a good watch.
Although Russell Wilson is still cooking.
He's playing better. Playing good. The Giants are the team, I feel like, that does not deserve any primetime.
And the Jets. Get them off.
Yeah. New York?
Stink.
Fuck off. Fuck off, eh?
Except for the Yankees. They can keep winning.
Yeah, please do. So our overall numbers right now, Gage, you're 8-10. You're $400 in the hole right now. I'm 8-9-1.
Yeah.
Got you by a half game. I'm $300 in the hole.
Okay.
Who are you taking this week?
I am taking for my $300 pick Texans +2 at the Jets Thursday night. Is it just because the Jets are at home they're getting the points?
I guess.
And maybe the Stephon Diggs injury?
And the receiver issues that Houston's dealing with. But I still think the Jets are a disaster. Maybe because they're the home team on the short week. That's an advantage.
Yeah.
But still. And you know, they've been in must-win mode, I feel like, for the last 2-3 weeks, but now they absolutely cannot lose again. No. I feel like.
Okay, so I see that, but
with
that being said, I'm still going to pick the Texans.
Yeah.
My $200 pick, I'm rolling with the Bills again. I think that's my second consecutive $200 pick with the Bills.
Yep.
Against the Dolphins. The Bills are -6. The Bills are at home. Dolphins on the road at a cold place.
Yep.
Don't love it.
It's not November yet, but it's pretty close. Well, this game will be in November.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And then my $100 pick, Falcons -2.5 against my Cowboys. The Cowboys have this fucked off stretch, and it's not going to be nice.
Yeah.
The Cowboys might win a game out of the next 4. It's not going to be pretty.
It's going to be tough.
It's going to be really bad.
It's going to be tough. I mean, they need to get those pass rushers back. Not having Lawrence and Parsons, that's not good news for the defense.
Yeah. Cowboys going to Atlanta. I know it's in a dome, but those fans get loud. They like their Falcons.
Are the Cowboys going to win a game at home this year? In hindsight, I guess I should have been more worried about the Cowboys on the road, this past week against the Niners because they're
undefeated. Yeah. So, you do your thing, and I'll answer the question for you.
Okay. For my $300 pick, I'm going with the Cleveland Browns, led by none other than famous Jameis. They're getting 1.5 at home against the Chargers.
They're gonna eat that W.
Yeah, give me all of it. I just. As much as I was riding the Chargers coming into the season, don't say it. They're just not that great offensively, and I think with Jameis, the Browns are putting up some points right now. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna go with Cleveland. I'm taking the Rams with my $200 pick -1.5. They're going to Seattle, but the Seahawks just really aren't that good. I'm sorry. I know they're 4-4. I know they got their hot new coach with he's got this fancy defense, but
Gino has his days numbered.
Yeah, I think he's close to being cooked.
And it was really nice. What was it, 2 years ago? He had that comeback season.
Right.
Don't say it.
Yeah. And even last year they were surprisingly pretty decent again.
Yeah.
I think did they miss the playoffs by a game, or did they make it? Oh, they did play the Niners in the first round. Yeah.
That was last year.
That was last year. Yeah. But anyways, yeah. And I just, with the Rams having their top receivers healthy, I think they're pretty dangerous on offense, so I'm taking the Rams. And last but not least, I'm going Packers. I know that Jordan Love is questionable, but they're getting 3.5 against Detroit, who, going on the road to Lambeau. Detroit hasn't really beaten anyone. Well, they have beaten Minnesota in their house, but
yeah,
that
was a great game.
Yeah, it was a good game. Another just kind of chill weather game. This one's not going to be as easy, I don't think. Yeah. So I'll take the Packers to at least stay in the game.
Okay, book it.
So
first of all, the Cowboys' next 4 games: at Falcons, home for the Eagles, home for the Texans, at Commanders. They could win 1. I think they could beat the Falcons. The Eagles division games are weird. I don't think that's going to happen. Texans. Battle of Texas, we know how that's going to go. And the Commanders, it's the first time they played them, actually, this season. Will be on the 24th.
To be honest, as fun as the Commanders have been, they haven't beaten anyone good yet. The 2 best teams they played, they've lost to.
Also, when are we starting our rankings?
I was just kind of thinking about that earlier this week.
What week do we usually start it?
I feel like it's usually around week 11, maybe week 12. So coming up. Okay, cool. Yeah. Because I was kind of looking at the overall standings, the top teams, and I was obviously the Chiefs I think would be number 1, but just kind of looking at teams' resumes and who they've beaten.
Yeah.
Because it's definitely it's interesting. There's a lot of 2-loss teams.
Yeah, exactly. So you asked me, are the Cowboys going to win a home game? The only game that I could realistically see is November 28th, which I think is... Is that Thanksgiving?
Yep.
Yeah. At home against the Giants.
Yeah, they better win that fucking game.
Because they're at home against the Bengals, which is a Gage's guarantee, so I don't believe in that.
Ooh, but the Bengals aren't that great. They can beat the Bengals. Bengals defense is bad.
Okay. So
that's kind of why I'm out.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Joe Burrow scares me. He always does.
Yeah, he's good.
They're at home against the Buccaneers. It's a tough one. Tough one.
Baker.
And then to end the season at home against the Commanders, January 5th, you never know.
Yeah, that's a toss-up.
So if I had to pick one, I'm picking the Giants, Thanksgiving, and if the Cowboys ruin my Thanksgiving, it wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah, right. At least the San Francisco Giants can never ruin your Thanksgiving.
No, they can't.
It's impossible.
It's impossible.
Well, unless they traded away the star player.
Right. Unless they relocate.
Yeah, right. All right, I think it is that
was easy.
time.
It's last call. Oh man, we don't have the.
Oh, where is it? Might be in the closet there. There it is. Can't get it? Don't worry about it.
Whatever. Next week.
Yeah, next week.
Next week.
Kind of forgot about that thing.
All right, man. What do you got?
Do you want to take a shot?
I'll take the Negroni shot.
Just do have one of these with me.
No, because I've been drinking this.
All right, we'll do a shot of Negroni.
Isn't that the same thing you said? It's all booze?
It is all booze.
Those were your words.
It is.
SNS, bro. SNS.
Are we bringing that back?
You said that, and I'm like, where's this guy come from? What planet is he on right now? It's like SNS. I've known you for years, and I've never heard you say or seen you say SNS.
I was just trying to make Devin laugh.
Safe!
Yankees score again?
7-4. It's the green text messages.
Yeah, what the fuck's up with your phone, dude?
I have no idea, but I was texting you in Coach Prime, it was fine.
Yep.
Texting you RAV4, it was fine.
Yep. And Royale with cheese is fine too, right?
I don't know why, it's just eggy bread.
Maybe it's Ashley. Maybe she's the one that's fucking things up.
Could be.
Do we need to give her some shit?
For anybody asking, I'm in multiple group chats. Brag. And one of those is one with me, Emerson, Devin, Garrett, and Ashley. And for some reason, just in that group chat today, besides the Cabo one, which is Danny's reasoning for having the green text messages,
right?
There's green messages in the eggy bread, but we all have iPhones, including myself. But I don't know why it's doing it. I restarted my phone. I turned on the iMessage thing on and off.
Yeah, basically it's removed Gage from the group and had his responses go to like a separate group with still all of us. Yeah. We see them all, but
well, you know what I did last night is I did a new software update. But I didn't text you guys until
maybe we all need to update.
I'm not sure.
Maybe that's our problem.
But my phone still works for like me, you, and Dev, or like me, you, and Nick, or like me, you, Dev, and Garrett. It's really weird.
That is odd.
I don't want to get kicked out. I like being in group chats.
No, you're getting kicked out.
I had an Android for years, and I feel like I'm picking up on lost time.
But yeah, when did you finally go the iPhone route? It's been a while, but
let's go.
10-4 Yankees.
10-4 Yankees. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it yet, but where was this? You know what sucks for the Yankees?
That looked like a pop-up. How the fuck did that get out?
That looks like a Yasiel Puig pop-up.
So if I update tonight, is my phone going to be fucked up?
I'm not sure.
Should I stay away?
I might have to stay away. So here's the thing for the Yankees, and I didn't say this earlier. What really, really sucks is that they lost that first game.
Yeah.
I said to Ashley, I texted Tyler about it, telling Moffitt. It's the kind I told Moffitt, and I told him, like, genuine. Like, it's the kind of game you lose sleep over.
Right. I kind of meant to mention that when we were talking about the World Series, that especially like how well Garrett Cole pitched, and you could argue, everything's hindsight, but you could argue that they should have left him in a little longer because the two guys they brought in after him kind of fucked things up a little bit.
So here's to the Yankees. Cheers.
Yeah, a W. I'm chalking it
up. I will not chalk it up. But I mean, if the Dodgers score 7 in the top of the ninth, the Yankees deserve to lose.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
Exactly. Okay, so a few things for last call. NASCAR, we're down to one more race before the championship, so 2 total left. Joe Logano and Tyler Reddick, they got to punch their tickets with W's in the round of 8. Your boy Larson, he's kind of getting in the must-win mode now. I'm a little nervous because I feel like him in must-win mode is going to be dangerous. He either is going to put it in the wall or he's going to win the season. one of the two is going to happen. And they're going to Martinsville, which is like one of those tracks that it's a small track, so a lot of bumping in that race. It's going to be fun.
I think because right now Dylan has the lead, and before Sunday he didn't.
Right. He was actually trailing by quite a bit. Yeah. He had a huge weekend.
So congrats to him. That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
And I want to win this year in our league so bad because when we were at Applebee's doing the picks, I remember you specifically being on the phone with Ashley saying it's guaranteed Gage will not win this year.
And here you are.
Even when if I come in second, I'm still gonna be like, you know what, you had no chance for me. Absolutely no chance.
I still feel good about myself. I'm only 8 points behind Dylan and 7 points behind you.
So it's a 3-man race?
Oh, it's a 3. Yeah. I even, I would give. I would give Garrett a puncher's chance at this point because
to win,
because he has Joey Logano already in the championship round, and
70, okay.
And if Chase Elliott wins at Martinsville, that would put him in really interesting position.
So
even Devin has 73. So if like Byron wins this weekend, she's right in the mix too.
Yeah. So you're telling me if Kyle Larson does not win this race, I'm fucked.
He could get in on points, but he's going to have to race really well and hope for either Byron or Bell to not finish well. So he's not in the driver's seat by any means.
So like if he doesn't get like top 5 in this race, he might not be able to race for the championship.
Very, very possible. Yeah,
that's shitty. But
we got Aaron Judge coming up. Come on, Judgy. I'm going to text her just to set the
tone,
set the mood here.
Do you think they even have booze at their house or at their apartment?
God, I would hope so.
Like bottled liquor, they probably have like some whiskey.
Something.
Eric probably drinks some whiskey, right?
I would think so. He's not that much of a square.
He's not a square at all. What are you talking
he's not a square at all. Why did I say that?
Why? Come on, man. Fucking Yankees, man. This is what I mean. The fans deserve this because wouldn't it have been shitty for Yankees fans to still not have a World Series win, get a game one of the World Series since 15 years?
I know. That would have been actually kind of funny.
I wanted to make that joke to Ashley, but I probably would have waited. Right. But, they can have they won here, like they won a game here.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
All right, she said, fine, I hope I have one. Let's go, Judge.
I mean, he's due.
He's so fucking due.
He's got the Charlotte. He's got the Charlotte Hornet colored gloves for some reason. I love it. Old school Charlotte Hornets.
Is he a Jordan boy or what?
I mean, he is a Jordan. Yeah, I think he is.
He's got it.
Those are Jordan gloves.
He's probably got Jordan cleats.
But I don't even think Jordan owns the Hornets anymore, does he?
He might be slightly affiliated, but just missed outside.
That was nice. Speaking of Jordan basketball, my Sacramento Kings, let's see.
How they looking?
They're up 113-94 to Utah Jazz.
I mean, if the Warriors beat the Jazz like they did, the Kings better do that too.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh! God damn it.
Oh, man. Base hit for Aaron Judge. Another run's going to score for the Yankees. 11-4. 11-4. My Sacramento Kings also, like the Beam, won their first game of the season after getting the really shitty pull of playing the Timberwolves and the Lakers back to
Light it.
To start the season.
I don't want to hear that.
Hey, your Lakers finally lost. I was hoping they were going to win, so I could text you, hey, still undefeated.
I was bantering with this guy at the bar yesterday about the Lakers Suns game.
Yeah.
And he was like, it was going into the fourth quarter. He's like, should I take this bet? Suns -2.5. And I was like, yeah, take it. And they won by 4. So
nice. Well, also, LeBron James. So he scored over 10 points in like 1,200 straight games.
It's insane, yeah. Since he was a rookie, basically, right?
And last night he was really close from scoring like last night. He had apparently, from what I've heard, because I caught the tail end.
Yeah.
He had a really terrible game.
Yeah.
But he scored 10 points. Skip Bayless is sad, which is fine, because Skip Bayless is just.
It's fine.
Yeah, for lack of a better word. But LeBron, just keep that streak alive, just right. for Skip. Skip.
We also got Pelicans Warriors on TNT right now. Let's check in on that score. Halftime, Warriors down 51-47. So
is Steph playing? No.
Steph is out for tonight and tomorrow, and then they're going to Wiggins is out tonight as well. They're going to reevaluate Steph on Friday, see if he's good for the weekend.
Okay.
Which, another ankle roll. Gotta love it.
Well, I don't even want to hear it.
Yeah.
Once he got those Forrest Gump ankle braces, bro, he started winning championships. Okay, so
fuck it.
Also, did we even mention San Jose Sharks?
Give me that W.
That was easy.
It wasn't easy, but they got there.
Yeah.
Sharks got their first W of the season. Now they're 1-7.
1-5-2. If you're
1-5-2. Okay.
If you're doing the whole calculation.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
But the Sharks.
Or 1-6-2, something like that.
It's
Anyways.
It's bad when they're already projecting what your first pick's going to be.
Right.
Babe, you said what'd you say? Playoffs win.
I'd say in 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So that would be 2028.
So Sharks fans, aka Garrett, power through, bro.
Yep.
Power through.
The thing at this point is we got to get Celebrini and Will Smith healthy so that they can develop, because they're the the future at this point for the team.
Yes.
Sharks are also playing the Kings on ESPN tonight as well.
Yeah. Well, and also the Sharks last night getting their first win. Were they down?
They were down 4-1 with 4.5 minutes left in the game.
Wow.
And they scored 3 in the final few minutes and then won it in overtime.
Wow. Yeah. I did see the discrepancy, but I didn't realize it was that deep into the third period.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they went empty net with like just under 5 minutes to go, and then scored 3 goals. Boom, boom, boom.
Well, and I checked the score, and I saw they were, I think it was they were in overtime, yeah.
Yeah, or overtime, yeah.
And I just, the ESPN Plus thing just really makes me mad.
Oh, they play on ESPN Plus. Yeah.
I guess I could have just watched it on my
phone. Were they not on NBC?
Well, I think it's on ESPN. I think if it's on ESPN Plus, they can't show it. I didn't check though.
Well, I think sometimes they'll do both.
Okay.
So so you should definitely check.
Maybe next time I'll check.
Yeah.
But okay, yeah, I'll check.
Yeah.
Because I just automatically assume that they
right.
If it's on that, it's not going to be shown locally.
Yeah. No, yeah, because like when you look on the ESPN app, if it's ever on ESPN, they're always going to, or ESPN Plus, they're always going to put that as the main broadcast. Yeah. Even though they're most likely still on the local broadcast.
Got it. Last thing for last call, which is something that made me laugh when I first saw that you were going to talk about this, is the Dwayne Wade statue in front of, I don't think it's called the American Airlines Arena anymore.
What is that place called?
Or American Airlines Center.
Yeah, I don't know what it's called.
You know what's funny is when the Heat played the Mavericks, I think both those 2006 and 2011 finals, I'm pretty sure the Mavericks Arena is called American Airlines Arena. It's either called, like, one of them is called American Airlines Center, but like the same, which is really great.
Same sponsor.
Which for American Airlines, you gotta love that.
Oh yeah, they're cashing in.
You gotta love that.
That's funny.
But whatever it's called now in Miami, Dwayne Wade, I think, got the first basketball statue outside the stadium, which, he is Mr. Heat.
Yeah,
he
for
is
sure.
the I would say the player that not made him relevant, because I think Alonzo Mourning and Tim Hardaway,
but he
had like deep playoff series with the Heat back then.
But he was the first superstar that like made them a championship team.
Yeah, obviously
Shaq.
Well, he was there before Shaq, and then Shaq came, and they ended up being what they were.
And then he won the MVP.
And it's the statue is undoubtedly.
It just doesn't look like him.
No, but what I was gonna say is he is undoubtedly deserved to have that.
Oh, for sure,
100%. But the statue, look at the face. Like, if you were to show me just the face,
and
not like the Miami Heat #3 jersey on it, I would not think it was Dwayne.
Yeah, I think Shaq said, or no, Charles said that. Charles Barkley was like, if it didn't say #3, you wouldn't know who the fuck it was.
Exactly.
And it's totally true. It's not a good statue. And we made jokes about the Cristiano Ronaldo one, which is bad, but you could tell it's him. Like this one, it's bad, and you can't tell that it's Dwayne Wade.
It's just the jaw is like too squared.
Yeah. And it's just a very big head.
And I wonder who did it, because I'm not saying sculpting statues is easy. It's not everybody's Michelangelo.
I'm sure it's not.
It's not easy.
Yeah.
But I mean,
you got to do better than that.
You got to do better than that. Did the guy see a picture of Dwayne Wade?
That's a good point.
Did he do it off memory?
Yeah.
That looks like a statue if someone did it off their memory of Dwayne Wade.
Yeah. And they just had no... Yeah.
Because Dwayne Wade, I'm sure... I did not watch the ceremony of him talking about how great the statue was.
Yeah.
But I'm sure when he saw it, and when he went home to his wife and his kids, he probably said, what the fuck was that? What is that?
Yeah.
I bet you...
He tried to be super nice about it in his
of course. Because how could you not be? This team that you pretty much played your whole career for, not the whole time, unfortunately, which he should have been a Heat his entire career.
Yeah.
Or a member of the Heat.
Yeah.
It's just they do you like that?
Yeah.
Did Pat Riley just go the cheap route?
Yeah, right.
Like, come on, man. Like, what's going on?
You get some bum off the street to fucking sculpt your...
Every player on the Heat right now would look at that and say that's not Dwayne Wade.
No.
Because the Ronaldo statue was really bad. And I want to say they redid it.
I think you're right. Yeah.
And I bet you the Miami Heat will redo this.
Yeah.
Because of how social media has just completely botched it. Right. And this also is something where I don't know whose call it was. Probably was the owner. It could have been Pat Riley. Like, we want this guy doing this.
Yeah.
This is why people who have way too much say in an organization need to be questioned. Because that is a really bad statue. It is.
It is horrible.
It's bad.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
It's a good point.
I think Dev said someone tweeted. So someone was like, "All right, make me a statue of Dwayne Wade." And someone was like, "Okay, Kelsey Grammer." They're like, "No, Dwayne Wade." And they're like, "Okay, yeah, Kelsey Grammer." So that's what it looks like. It does not look like Dwayne Wade at all.
Yeah.
They're gonna change. I bold prediction.
But yeah, right.
Bold prediction. They're gonna change it.
I would like to think they'll do something.
They have to.
Yeah.
I don't know how they'll do that. Can they just cut the head off and put a new one on? And like kind of what?
They're showing that he changed jerseys. Volpe, the shortstop for the Yankees.
Change jerseys?
Yeah, I guess like he had he like totally muddied up his jersey because it's been raining in New York.
So you can't have a muddy jersey, or did you choose?
Well, I think he just was like, this thing's heavy on me. So
gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
But anyways, good stuff. All right, Yankees look like they're going to close this one out. They got 1 strike and 2 outs left to get this thing done.
Wait, hold on. So let's see. I just want hypothetically.
Yep.
I just want to see. So we're game 4 right now. Is there any chance next week that we could be doing a podcast?
So game 5's tomorrow. Now it's going to be
Saturday's the possible game 7.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
And we got Garrett Cole, Jack Flaherty, game 1 rematch.
Jack Flaherty. Oh, okay, so that was.
Excuse me.
How do you feel about that?
I think they have to let Garrett Cole throw
as many pitches as possible.
120. I know that sounds ridiculous, but 120. If
he can do it.
If he's cooking, 120.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the entire game, unless he has like a really.
I mean, if he's like at 120 through 7 innings, I think you got him off. But if he's 120 going into the 9th, maybe you keep him in there.
And so if you're Aaron Boone for this game, because obviously you have to win it, you have to win the rest of them.
Yeah. Do
you have every pitcher available in the bullpen?
Tomorrow for sure, because they're going to get a day off on Thursday.
Yeah.
So you got to let it loose tomorrow.
Yeah. So who's their second best starting pitcher?
Well, that's a great question because Rodon sucked in his start and he's been iffy in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And then who was the guy who pitched in game 3 or game 2? Yeah. I don't remember who pitched in game 2, but he wasn't good either.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, it was Clark Schmidt. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, those
nobody
guys,
I've ever heard of.
Yeah. I mean, I think their bullpen right now, like all the guys in their bullpen, you would probably take over those guys because I mean, even though you got to win one, you still got to think to some degree you got to win the series at the same time. You know?
Yeah.
So you can't just totally destroy your pitching staff.
But you do agree that everybody available has to be available tomorrow.
I would think so. I would say everybody except for Rodon, since he pitched yesterday, and that would only be 2 days rest, and he's gonna have to start a game.
And he's not like a dog. He's not like a horse.
No, and you're gonna have to use him eventually in a starting role. So.
I would love to see. I know it's kind of impossible now because of what game it is, Game 4.
Yeah.
I would love to see a Madison Bumgarner effort from Garrett Cole. Because do you think there's any chance when he pitches tomorrow he could pitch Game 7 in any kind of aspect?
I would think that if they got to Game 7 and it's interesting, he's coming out of the pen.
Has to.
He has to.
Has to.
I mean, that would be potentially more epic, given the fact that they're coming back from a 3-0 deficit. You know.
Yeah. So, were the Giants down? Were the Giants down 3-2 in that series?
They were no. They went to Kansas City with a 3-2 lead,
and that's when Kansas City blew them out.
They got blown out in Game 6.
When we went to Fosrati's, we said we would never come here again.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And we went back to Frida's.
Hey, and it worked.
It worked.
Didn't
seem like it was going to work at first, but it worked.
Oh man! So, hopefully next time we talk to you, it's going to be a Yankees
kind of miracle.
Some kind of miracle.
Not likely, but
best comeback you've ever seen.
But we'll hope, nonetheless.
Yeah.
Niners off this week. Cowboys got Falcons.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens this week.
Yes.
We'll see you next time. Peace.